Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the agenda. We're excited to have you back. We've promised this season, I've told you time and time again, it's going to be as hot as the weather outside. And this week, tonight, no different. We are blessed to have Miss Monique Johns. Welcome, Miss Johns. Appreciate having you here on the agenda. She is running for Newcastle County President. We are excited to have you here. You are a first-time guest on the agenda.
Yes, I am.
And thank you so much for joining us tonight. I've known you for, I would say, a long time now. It's almost been 2 decades. Tell me a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you.
Well, thank you, Kerwin, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I'm from Claymont. I grew up in Claymont in a development called Peachtree, on Peachtree Road in Greentree. And my father was a minister, so I've been serving in my community my entire life. Then I currently live in Middletown right now, and I have 4 kids, 3 in college at the same time.
Whew.
And my oldest is Busy and Riley. I just have a heart for the people. Mm-hmm. So I serve seniors, veterans, those incarcerated. That's a part of my nonprofit. And I teach in the schools. We teach leadership courses, which is life skills training. And I'm just busy. And I run a church as well. I run a church as well. So I'm just grateful that I have the energy to continue to do what I do.
Yeah.
Because I love it.
And politics takes a lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
It takes a lot of understanding of people, and through your work in the community, you definitely know the people. But with all that you're doing, and through your nonprofits, which I hope that you'll tell us a little bit more about, your successful nonprofits, the time that it's going to take to be council president. But why do you feel that, first of all, why do you want to be council president, and why are you the best pick for council president?
Well, I thought about council president because it gives me more opportunity to help more people, the county from Claymont to Townsend. And because I help people throughout the state, this position seemed to fit for me. It made me feel that I could touch more people. And that was my goal. And be working with, different people. They have their own districts. The people that are on the council people that are on the council are very passionate about their districts. So I want to help them, partner with them to make sure that the needs are being met in their districts. Okay,
so the needs are being met, but you have some pretty stiff competition to get you there. And let's be honest, it's going to be, you have some very, very good other servants of the public that have worked in the past. Why do you think that you are set for success?
Well, the people trust me. I'm the voice of the people. Mm-hmm. So they call me for everything from their mortgage information, any housing.
And they're calling you because of your nonprofit status?
Yeah, a helping hand. So a helping hand, as I said earlier, it helps seniors, veterans, those incarcerated, women with children. If you need housing, if you need help helping your child get to college, if your child has mental health issues or challenges, I'm a mental health, I'm going to say clinician, but I'm certified. So I'm more well-rounded. So that means I can be able to connect with different people.
Okay. And, I know that working with council can be difficult. Right, politics can be difficult, but Newcastle County is not for the weak when it comes to council chambers and dealing with some of the hot issues that we have right now. How would you deal with that? I mean, people sometimes don't understand the importance of council president, and I would say that you set the rhythm. People will look at you as the president of Newcastle County Council as a guide on, so to speak, and how we're going to move forward. We talked a little bit off air, and I will tell you what our country needs now, what our county needs now, more than anything, Ms. Johns, is decorum and unity.
Absolutely.
in regards to a party. So there should
Absolutely.
be nonpartisanship. We have too many issues at hand that it's going to take all of us. So when choosing a council president, how are you going to make that happen?
Well, I was born a leader. So, and I connect well with everyone. I try to, but I'm a good listener. And to be a good listener is a skill. So these are all individual people with different personalities. So I've raised 4 kids. I lead my nonprofits. You know, even back when I was 7 or 8 years old, I was the high producer for Girl Scouts, and I became the leader. So because I was born this way, because I'm shaped this way, I'm able to connect with different types of people. So when I come into the council, I'm going to make them feel comfortable. We do need to be more unified, but I want to bring the state in as well. But, you know,
Talk to me a little bit more about that. I like the fact that you're already coming up with solutions. You're coming up with solutions on how you're going to do it. Tell us a little bit about what those solutions are.
well, you know, without sharing all of it, I think what's missing is the trust. And a lot of the council men and women have served for such a long time, and they just want honor and respect. So that's what I'm going to give them without violating, you know, what the community needs. So I'm going to be an advocate for them and help them assist their districts. So I'm going to be helping them, making sure the needs of the community is met. That's the ultimate goal, is that we come together as a council to make the county, Delaware, Newcastle County, the best county possible. So we have to be together and unified. So the different personalities need to be set aside. Let's handle that after council. Let's stick to the agenda, because I'll be leading the meetings. That's one of the positions, one of the jobs that the county council president does, is lead the meetings. So, you know, I do have a plan for that. And there's going to be some that, you know, may resist, but I'm already there. So I'm going to smile and I'm going to assist them in staying on track.
2 hot issues right now, maybe 3 if you want to break them down independently in the county, is, I would say, the Hope Center worries me. We have families in need. We have families in transition. We have families and individuals that are really hitting a hard time right now. And that requires an organization.
Yes.
That requires funding, and some of that is just not happening overall at the Hope Center. We've had Mr. Meyer here. He's given his opinion. I'm giving mine. I think that there is room for improvement.
Absolutely.
We also have an issue in the county that, unfortunately, we're still dealing with it, and that's use of force with law enforcement. There has been 2 incidents that have occurred over the past 30 days or so. I went to the law enforcement committee meeting on Tuesday night and listened to what the advisory committee had to say, listened to what the director of public safety had to say, listened to what the county police had to say.
Yes.
But we have some issues, and if you'd like to know my opinion, I can give you mine, but I would really want to hear your opinion on both of those issues.
Well, first, the Hope Center has done an outstanding job in providing needs and providing housing, education for their kids after school, before school, food, shelter. From my understanding, and it was written, that they needed money and they received it. So we're good for 3 years. I don't know, but I didn't see what Matt Meyer says, but from my understanding, as of last week, that the funding for the Hope Center has been received. So I service the homeless community, and it is a community. And I think as people, we have to accept that they're a community too. Now, I've gotten some calls about some inappropriate things that homeless have been doing in shopping centers and just everywhere. So we need to get porta potties. That's number one. And some of the homeless people, and you wouldn't know this unless you are in the community, do not want to be in housing. They would prefer to live out in, I call the wilderness, because they like their freedom. Everyone that's homeless is just not someone who is just lazy.
Right, but that's not the solution, right?
No, that's not the solution.
Right.
A lot of them have medical issues, mental health, they're disabled. I talked to a gentleman probably about 6 months ago, and he wanted to show me his house. Now, he's homeless, and I'm looking at him, oh, okay, his house. So he said, no, just follow me. So I follow him, and we go into the wilderness. And when I say the wilderness, is just, I'm thinking, what is Gilligan Island? Mm-hmm. Clothesline. You know, he had all these things. He had a couch. He told me to sit down. He gave me, you know, a little crate to sit on. And it was a community of people. And I said to him, how did you get here? Mm. He said, let me show you my house. He showed me his house. Oh, wow, that's a nice house. It was boarded up. He said, my wife passed away, and I never could go back. Mm-hmm. So everyone that we think is not doing the right thing, they are challenged or having some challenges with accepting things that has happened out of their control. Mm-hmm. So we have to be very sensitive to the homeless community, but some things, on the other hand, are a little out of control, and we need to reel them back in and get them the help that they need. Some of them have drug addictions, you know, so it's broad. But the Hope Center has done a fantastic job. You know, I donate to the Hope Center. Carrie does an awesome job. She has the passion. She is just wonderful with the people that come. There's success stories. Let's not talk about things that are negative. Let's talk about the positive. There are many families that have left the Hope Center and now are living in their own home with the help of the Help Center and those who have donated. Mm-hmm. So we as a community, a collective community, the state, the county, have to work together to make sure that we meet the needs of all people. Mm-hmm. And the county police, that's a sensitive topic.
It's a very sensitive topic.
You know, because I support the county police. What I don't support is when these individuals that we call leaders look at as leaders and have supposedly been trained as leaders. And protocol has been established, and they're violating it. Mm-hmm. And because the law is there that they still can get paid, you know, they just go out and still get paid, is challenging for me. But right. It's already a law. So we have to not back down. We have to stand up and confront these issues.
But how are we confronting these issues when someone has, and you talked about your certifications in regards to mental health, but when someone identifies to a police officer that they have a mental health condition that is affecting them and probably causing them to act adversely, but yet law enforcement still continues in the manner in which they did, and we're left with what we have now, right? Mm-hmm. And the incident that occurred, excuse me. Mm-hmm. So, County Council, you're controlling the budgets for law enforcement. You're yes. having those tough discussions with council in regards to what we're going to do in regards to fixing this issue. What would be your leadership advice in regards to dealing with some of these issues?
Yes, we need to bring everyone to the table. And I'll bring my own table. But we need to bring everyone to the table to discuss, why does this still continue to happen? Mm-hmm. And I thought about that. You know, as the police officers, and if anyone has watched the video, the woman that came at the end, it just startled me because I could not understand after you saw that the person was already being abused.
That was on the ground.
Why did you have to come with that extra force? Mm-hmm. That tells me that we have not made it clear enough that if you violate this, mm-hmm. that we're going to get rid of you. I hate to say that, but the law
it won't be accepted.
It's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. But they don't believe that that's true, because if you believe that was true, and you have a body cam and someone's videotaping you and you can see it, and you still decide to go off on your own and take that action, we have to continue to stand up and fight for what we believe, and that's just not right.
Right. So when you're making mention in regards to body cams and behavior still occurring when the body cam is running, to me that says that this happens more than not, and the consequences are really non-existent.
Exactly.
So it isn't until it becomes a media frenzy that an actual change is made.
Absolutely.
And if that's the case, and this is the time, our little window during this media frenzy, then we need to take full advantage of it.
That's right, because they know that they can go out on leave and still receive their pay.
And it's a sad state of affairs,
Yes.
but I'm excited about all the good things that the county has.
Yes.
I'm excited about this upcoming election, as I know that you are too, and very interested to see how things are going to fall. How do you see things going?
Well, of course they're going to go my way. I do
was
see
pretty
that.
sure. I was pretty
see
sure.
that. But and why I'm talking to people, they're telling me they're tired of just the everyday. They need not just change, they need authenticity. They need transparency, and they need trust.
So let me ask, is that what if you do and your team do a lot of door knocking, talking to people face to face? What are some of the things that people are requesting from you as possibly the next Newcastle County president? But what are they saying to you? What are they saying, Ms. Johns? This is what I need.
Just yesterday, I was talking to this wonderful Italian man. We had a lot in common. All my kids have Italian names, and I worked in an Italian restaurant all my life. And he says, Monique, I don't want to vote. He said, it's not about Biden and Trump. He says, here, right now, in this city, the trash company comes by, and trash will fall out the truck, and they'll keep going. That he said to me that when it snows, that they don't plow my street. He said, I've been here for 38 years. He said, my medication used to be $160 every 3 months. Now it's $250 a month. He says, I'm through with politicians. He says, most of them aren't trustworthy. He says, we only see you during election time. And I began to talk to him, and I began to assist him in his medication, and told him that I was going to do some things, and I did make a couple phone calls. But that's the importance of all of us, politicians or just leaders, coming together and helping one another. We just cannot be about campaign time that things are happening. And there are a lot of people that are in our communities that are doing wonderful things. But we need to collaborate more to help more people. That's what I think. But they're saying a lot.
What else are they telling? What's the feedback you're getting?
The education. Although my position as county council
it's
president.
hard for the county, the funds are transferred to the state.
Yes.
Through the county property
Yes.
assessment, and it seems like, other than supplemental grant work, it's hard for the county to really do a lot when it comes to education.
Like after school and programs. And I currently have a nonprofit called Dream Leadership Institute, where actually I go into the classrooms during the day and after school and teach life skills training. The biggest concern also is education. We know that math and English are important, and we are below standard.
Well below standard in
Yes.
the state of Delaware.
But the reason why is because we're not teaching life skills training. We were teaching a class on Confidence 101, and I think the class was strategic planning. And this young lady said, she was a 10th grader, she says, Miss Johns, I hear what you're saying, and I think I have a plan, but how do I get my father to love me? So when a teacher is teaching, they have to discipline. Then they have maybe someone who doesn't speak English, and a child doesn't speak English. Then they have someone that has a mental challenge or disability. So there's so many dynamics that the teacher is dealing with that the time to teach is slim. So we have to create more programs for these young people to make sure that the education that they're receiving in that period of time, they're getting it. But if we're not teaching them relationships, how to handle anxiety, how to handle peer pressure, along with the daily math, English, psychology, biology, then we're losing them. Mm-hmm. We're losing them to their phones because we're not connected.
So working with the county to come up with these types of programs to go right back into the schools and assist more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we need more funding. So that's why we have to collaborate with the state to have these type of programs that I offer I go to the parents' homes. Because when their kid comes to the school and you teach them and you create a culture in the classroom, but then when they go back home, there's no structure. So then when they come back the next day, you have to retrain them because it's a mindset. So it's a lot of pressure for these children. I believe in uniforms. I know some parents, I believe.
So do I.
You know why? Because there were so many different things that they're concerned about. That $100 sneakers and I only have $15 sneakers. They lose focus. So we want to keep them on focus, and whatever we have to do to keep the kids focused and tuned in to the teacher will help. So these extracurricular activities, making sure that the libraries, which is a part of Newcastle County, is the libraries, that they have an attachment to the libraries. They can take the bus after school, have a program at the library, even if it's before and after school. The library is being underutilized.
I think the library in Middletown, the Route 9 corridor library, I think they have done some great work in changing what a library is supposed to be.
Yes.
I mean, blows my mind now. The library that I grew up in versus the library now are two completely different places, and this is for the better.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see everything that the library is doing and how it's constantly evolving. Even the library here in Wilmington, I mean, just crazy from everything that's going on there. It's great. It's a great time to be a kid in the library.
Yes.
It really is.
And every library should have those same tools across the county. They all should have those. If it's computers, if it's internet, if it's updated information, books that are updated, whatever it is that these kids need to keep them engaged. See, that we have to keep them engaged.
So let's go to a little bit. Why I have you here.
Okay.
And I've asked and I've reviewed this with all of the candidates here. Let's talk a little bit about the state races and the U.S. races, right? Who are you kind of behind for governor here? Are you aligning yourself with them? Do you have some synergies there with folks?
I have synergies with all of them. Whoever is going to be in that position, I'm going to work well with them. I have not aligned myself with them. I believe in running your own race. I don't believe that. Now, of course, connecting with someone or maybe developing a relationship, and I do have relationships with many of them, but I believe that I have to run my own race. So I stay focused on my race, and the things that they're doing that interest me, those are the things that we talk about when I see them or if I have questions.
So are you having those conversations with those that are running for county executive as well?
Oh, yes, and I'm going to lean heavy on the county executive. We're going to work together, hand in hand. That's important, and that also hasn't been happening, in the last 8 years or 10 years. So I'm going to make it my purpose to make sure that the county executive and I are working together as a team.
So we've had we talk about it all here on the agenda. We talk about a lot of politics. But this week, especially, we've had an assassination attempt on the previous president. There's questions about whether the current president should continue. I mean, there's just a lot of crazy things going on. Would love to know your input on that real quick.
Well, my daughter works for President Biden, but, I believe that if he still is able to do the job, then he's the best person for the job. I think that we all have bad days. There's times that maybe we are, get off track, but it's okay because he said that he can do this. So I'm going to continue to believe in him unless he shows me different.
I love it. I love it. So for those who don't know, the date of the election is?
September the 10th, Tuesday, September the 10th.
Tuesday.
But you can do early voting.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the end of August.
And so early voting begins the end of August.
Yes.
The election September 10th.
Yes.
Where can they go to find out more information about you? And what do you have planned as far as, I know you're always cooking. Every time I see you, you're cooking something.
I haven't cooked that much
so
lately.
Tell me, like, you're back out in the community when?
I'm in the community every day. So, that's people don't understand that. Did not wait until I ran for office to serve the community. This is what I do every day. So I love what I do. My website is moniquejohns.com. If you would like to donate or if you'd like to volunteer, we would love to have you. This is going to be a great election. I think people need to make sure if they need to do early voting because they're going on vacation, do that. If you are a senior, you need to mail it in your ballot, just call and let me know, and I'll come pick it up and I'll deliver it for you, or I'll put it in the mail for you. Provide the stamp, whatever you need to make sure that you vote on September 10th. This is a critical time, and we talk about the presidency, and that's important. But if I have a flood in my basement, I can't call Mr. President. I need to call my local leader. So we have to continue to support our local leaders and hold us accountable.
Holding them accountable. You've heard it here. You've heard it from Ms. Johns. Thank you so much for being with us here on the agenda. We wish you nothing but the best of luck for your election. And she's giving you the website one more time.
www.moniquejohns.com.
You've heard it here. That's where to find out more information. Go out and support. Have a conversation with Ms. Johns. Ensure that her ideas align with you, making sure that you stay on the agenda. We look forward to seeing you next week right here on the agenda.